So you're going to decide, I want a different reality. That's the first critical step. And that could be in any area of your life, your business, your money, your relationships. You could decide, I'm tired of the way that it is, and I'm willing and I'm dedicated and I'm committed to moving in a new direction. And the thing that's really cool about decision is that it's so powerful.
We all have insecurities and fear. So the question is, how do you get over them? It's time to explore and identify what's holding you back from your greatest potential. On this podcast, your host, Iris Janet, shows you how to use NLP, meditation, and energy to move past your obstacles.
Money is important because it enables you to have a comfortable life and to give back to your community and causes you to believe in. Money is important to have, so we are not living life in a constant effort of keeping our head above the water. Napoleon Hill said, "What the mind can conceive, it can achieve." Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Firefly by Iris Janet. And if you are new here, you are welcome and thank you. If you enjoy this episode at any time or you know someone who you think it will be inspired by this message, please copy and paste the link and share with them. Today, we have a great show, a show that you will enjoy. So please take your pen and notebook because Dr. Amanda Barrientez will share great information that you will love. Dr. Amanda is the founder of NFA with money, not fucking around with money. She has helped coaches and online entrepreneurs breaking through those money blocks and limitations and teach them how to maximize their profit with successful strategies. Today, she will share with us how she moved from food stamp to building a six-figure income fast and how to make money doing exactly what you love to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Amanda Barrientez.
Woohoo! That was a great intro. Thanks for having me on, Iris. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Amanda. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation. My audience will be delighted with all you have to share with us. But I have my pen and notebook ready as well because I also learned with this. And I hear in one of your YouTube videos, and you said something that I share that belief. We're doing this to teach and to learn. And to my podcast, every experience, every person that I have bring to interview or every topic I bring to my audience, I learn so much. So again, thank you. And I am ready.
Yeah. I love that. It's such a gift to be a podcaster and to share information with the world for free. So good for you for doing it. And thank you for having me on so that I can share what I know with your community.
Thank you. My pleasure. My first question to you, and I think this question will cover all, is please tell me your story. How do you move from taking food stamp to making six-figure income?
Such a good question. And, I always think about the journeys of life as quite zigzag and spiral-ish and unexpected sometimes. Yeah. So, when I had that moment, when it all started, I was on the floor crying. And I had really, really stuck mindset around a lot of kind of just victim mindset where I felt like I was constantly stuck in survival mode. I started my journey through ending my 15-year marriage, having an affair. And then that next relationship that I had gotten into wasn't working well at all. And I was on the floor crying and I was thinking, wow, I'm really stuck. I don't know how to have a good relationship. I'm really stuck in my money. I had 3 kids and I was in some ways facing homelessness because the area where I lived was really expensive. And my ex-husband had lost his job. So I had no child support and I was in grad school and I didn't have a place to live. I was moving out of this house and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? And so I was just feeling really helpless and hopeless and scared. And I had this moment where I realized that I was the center of all of the things that were happening. I thought, okay, who is to blame here? Nobody but me. And it didn't feel like that beat up blame. It felt more like I got to do something different. I've got to choose to do something different because I don't like this reality. And so from that day forward, I really decided that I was willing to do whatever it took to shift my relationship and my money reality. And that led me listening to podcasts because I was super busy. And, anytime I was driving my kids to school or doing the dishes or walking to my classes that I was taking or teaching, I would listen to podcasts. And I started to get a ton of amazing information, and I started implementing it, and it worked. And I started shifting my relationship reality and my money reality. And then I decided at the end of my grad school, instead of going into academia and becoming a professor, I decided I'm going to take the leap into business, and I want to help as many people as I can. Now my goal is to help 5 million people through my company. And I wanted to just empower people through what I was learning. And so I took the leap, and in my first full-time year of business, I built it to 6 figures. So that was the fast story.
We as women feel so related to this story because we all have those situations, divorces, family, and things that really matter to us that can bring us down sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So what do you think it will be the mindset to begin moving from making that shift?
The first thing that's really important for people to know, I always say that if you live by this principle, it's life altering, where you realize your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you don't like what you're getting on the outside, you need to start changing what's within. And so I really recognized that I needed to take radical responsibility and stop blaming other people for my reality and do everything I could to change it. And that decision changed everything, because then I started looking for ways to improve myself. And I started to read personal growth and development every day, listen to those podcasts, watch YouTube. And I really just decided I can do something different. So for anyone who's listening, if you're stuck and you're feeling like you're stuck in survival mode and you really don't want to be there anymore, you got to be the one to decide, okay, I'm the creator of my reality, and I can start making changes step by step in a new direction. And it just takes one step at a time. It's small steps every day that over time lead to huge transformations.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that. If we can say that there's something that it can limit us to make that movement, make that transition, that decision, what do you think it will be?
I honestly think a lot of it is blaming outside forces or other people or situations or events. So for example, with the recent COVID, everything that's happened there, a lot of people will blame outside events, or if they get into a bad relationship, they blame the other person. Or if, let's say, they lose their job, they blame their boss. And so there's a lot of blame that's going on. And it's a very scarcity victim-based mindset, instead of saying, okay, what do I have the power to shift and change? And where am I responsible for creating my reality? Once you do that, you actually gain all of the power to change your outer world. And so just remember that when you blame other people, you lose your power. And so you get to decide each and every day, you get to make the choice that you're in control of your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. And when you take that radical responsibility approach, you just decide and take one step, and things will start to shift, and you'll start to have different opportunities come your way because you're attracting abundance instead of scarcity. And so you start to actually notice the world changing around you. And really what's changing is that on the inside, your mind is changing, and now you're seeing different perspectives and different versions of options available to you that you weren't seeing before because you were too focused on blaming other people.
Yes. And that's basically the title or the name of your program is Say It All, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes. If you can give me 3 important steps to make that movement, because when you are in food stamp, and I've been there, when I first get divorced, I have 5 kids, and it was difficult. I didn't know any English. It was hard for me to find a job. And if I found a job, it was, with a very small check. If you have to say you need 3 steps to begin with, which step will be those first 3 steps?
A great question. Good for you for stepping out and doing what you're doing. I think that the power of amazing people who do incredible things in the world and women who choose to empower themselves, it's, what you're doing right now is going like, okay, here's my reality, and I'm going to shift in a different direction and take the leap and have faith and trust, right? and then follow that up with action. So I'd say if you had 3 easy steps, and when I say easy, the interesting thing about self-empowerment and really having everything you want is actually a very, very simple path. But most people aren't willing to do the work, and they're scared, and they don't have the answers, and they're not really looking for them. So the first critical step is that you've got to have a mindset shift where you decide that you are the creator of your reality, right? And you go, okay, I'm going to decide. So that first critical step is decision. Okay. So you're going to decide, I want a different reality. That's the first critical step. And that could be in any area of your life, your business, your money, your relationships. You could decide, I'm tired of the way that it is, and I'm willing and I'm dedicated and I'm committed to moving in a new direction. And the thing that's really cool about decision is that it's so powerful because it cuts off everything else beforehand, and it signals to the universe that you are moving in the direction that you say you're committed to moving. So you've got to decide. So that's step number 1. You decide. And then step number 2, take action in the direction of your new decision. Okay. So you're taking action. Let's say it's that you decided, for me, it was, I'm tired of having crappy relationships, and I'm tired of being poor financially. And so I started reading everything I could about relationships. I started listening to, I just devoured podcasts. I listened to a whole bunch of different podcasts, and I was listening to sometimes 10 episodes a day in my spare time on double speed. I was just downloading everything that I could and really taking action in that direction, which the decision was, I'm tired of crappy relationships. I want to have empowered, connected, healthy, long-term attached relationships. And so I started taking action in that direction. Okay, so you're deciding with clarity, you're taking action in the direction. And then that third step is that you're allowing yourself to surrender some of the control and the timeline to the universe to bring you the opportunity. So I always tell people, you decide with clarity, you take action in the direction, and then you trust the universe to show you the way. So your deal and bargain with the universe is taking that action, because you are then opening more doors of opportunity. If you're just sitting on the couch and wishing and hoping, you don't have any interaction with the opportunities being brought to you. If you're out in action and you're doing what you say you want to do, then the opportunities can come your way, and the universe can go like, oh, here's an opportunity for you. Here's another opportunity for you. And you start to feel like you have a magic wand to create whatever you want, because you are so in alignment with your decision. And so something that gets people stuck is what I call competing commitments. So that's when your unconscious is in conflict or battling with your conscious. So that could look like you say, okay, I've made a decision that I want to build a 6-figure business, but then you don't take action in the direction. So in that second step that I was saying, you sit on the couch and you procrastinate and you hesitate and you're scared and you don't take any action. You know that you're blocked, and you know that you need to start looking within and going, what's stopping me from doing this? And just take one small step and start to move and shift the momentum in a new direction so that you can get aligned, and the universe can then bring you what you've asked for through your actions and your thoughts. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely makes sense. Now, for those that do not know what actions they should be making, I know that you have a program for that. Because I hear that in your YouTube videos that you have a program that it can help them find out what is actually that they are good to, right? Because one of the things also in all this magic is to do something that we actually like, something that we can enjoy, and a lot easier for us, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We Support specializes in creating and growing exceptional brands. In today's virtual world, social media is an essential marketing technique required to create online presence. Social media is a new way people communicate, shop, and learn. With countless things changing on social media, it can get overwhelming running those ads and campaigns. We Support Group can help your business be more efficient and profitable. And today we have a special offer for business owners with little to no social media presence. Let us help you grow a profitable business. Our consultants are experts in identifying your strategy. For more information, visit our page, wesupportgroup.net, and take advantage of the special offer. And if you mention that you hear this offer at Firefly by Irish Janet, you'll also get a 10% discount. We Support, modernizing how people connect with business.
Yes, you're talking about your zone of genius. So where you step into your zone of genius, you have the greatest potential to have the most fulfilling relationships, money, lifestyle, everything you want, because you're so fulfilled doing your work that it feels like play and every day feels like a vacation. And then you have this magic wand reality where you go, oh, I want to create this, and now I want to create this, and things start to flow very easily. So I love helping people. I work with a ton of coaches and online entrepreneurs to help them do that so that they can be empowered to create whatever they want in their business.
That sounds so much fun. I remember always this phrase that Oprah Winfrey said, when you're working in something that you like, you check is a bonus.
Yes, I love that.
Yes. And this is so good. Now, there are sometimes limitations that we put on ourselves and we don't know where they're coming from. How can we find out what are those limitations?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's funny to think, if I knew what my unconscious blocks were, then I wouldn't have the unconscious blocks and they'd be conscious. So you want to start just looking to the places where you feel stuck and asking yourself reflective questions, right? So if you're saying you want a 6-figure business and it's not going in that direction because you're hesitating and procrastinating and afraid to promote yourself and things like that, you want to start questioning your beliefs. So you want to start questioning, what would a person need to believe to be true for me to be in this situation? And so you're starting to look at yourself and go, I'm curious, if I'm getting this outcome, what am I believing underneath the surface to keep getting this repeated pattern of outcomes? Because that is your guidepost to you knowing, oh, I have been buying into this limiting story that you've got to work really hard to make money, and that women aren't powerful, and that, it's not possible for me to do what I love and make money doing it. And then you start to pick those apart and you start to see, do I want to buy into that story? Is it my choice to buy into that story? Or do I have, do I have to believe this? Or can I actually let go of that and start to shift in a different direction and think, plant the seed. Is it possible for me to have a 6-figure business? What would happen if I believed it was possible? Who would I be? How would I need to act? What would I wear every day? What would I say? What would I do? And then start to align yourself with those behaviors. And so, you ask, what actions would you take? You just start with something small. So you go, okay, if I want to have a 6-figure business, what would the powerful person who builds a 6-figure business get up and do in the morning? And write a list down of all the things they would do, and then just do one of those things and start there. And then every day you'll start building momentum in a new direction. And then you actually, as you're becoming the person that you are wanting to become, you shift from within, and then your outer reality starts to match.
That is so good and so true, because a lot of the time, I remember an episode of my life where I was driving a Nissan, but I wanted to have a BMW. And I remember driving that Nissan and feeling that I was in the BMW. I actually really felt that I was in the BMW, and I have the BMW. And it's how I was imagining that BMW with the same color, the same seat, everything. It's amazing the power that we have within ourselves when we believe that, and we live in that is happening, that is actually happening, right? Mm-hmm. But until we don't experience, we don't believe it. Sometimes we don't believe it. We have to, do the experience and then believe that actually happened. If our audience want to know more about your program and about what you are doing, where they can go and find you?
So many good places. I like to always offer free resources first for people to get to know me and hang out with me and go ooh, is she someone I would want to work with? So I have a YouTube channel and a podcast. If they go to maxpotentialmoney.com, there's access to free resources. There's the podcast links and my YouTube videos. So maxpotentialmoney.com. And then I just started a really awesome Facebook group that's private, that's called NFA Money Maker Lab. So if they go to nfamoneymakerlab.com, they'll have direct access to me there. I'm on there 5 days a week. And then they also get a 30-day mini course called 30 Money Making Secrets. So that's a great way to start interacting with me. And then, of course, I have a really incredible 12-week program for coaches and online entrepreneurs who are serious about building their business to 6 figures plus and want to be in a community of other incredible entrepreneurs. So they can always DM me and talk to me about my programs and services that will help them make the money they want to make doing exactly what they love to do.
Yes, I already joined one of those groups and I'm super excited to start working with you. My friends, our time is over. But like I said in the beginning, money gives you the freedom to enjoy life and help others. So what are you waiting to make the money you deserve? What are you waiting for? To learn which money block is limiting your income potential and a step that you can take to have money blocks breakthrough, you need to visit Dr. Amanda page, the maxpotentialmoney.com. And you can follow her also in Instagram, right? You have an Instagram page.
Yep, all my social media handles are NFA Money. So if they just look for NFA Money, they'll find me all over the place.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Amanda. Thank you so much for all this information. This is great information that we as women needed. Everyone needed, but mostly us. We have been from many generations of having a low income. And it's about time that we can believe in ourselves and make it happen.
Yes, it's time for the women to rock it out powerfully and make a lot of money doing what they love.
Yes. Also, to our audience, I want to make a quick reminder to go to fireflybyIrisJanet.com and download your free PDF with positive affirmation to help you begin your day. And if you want to continue being inspired, follow me on Instagram at Firefly_IJ and on Facebook at Firefly by Iris Janet. Thank you, Dr. Amanda. Thank you for listening. And remember to emit your light and attract all your desires.